Hello once again, everybody, it's me. I know you're excited. I am, but you don't know why yet. Well, actually, you probably do, because you've seen the, title of this video. Anyway, we're reading another story by Artemis of Athens. Lesbian Legbeard. Sunday. And we're back. This one isn't quite as juicy, but I hope you enjoy it for all the cringe-inducing glory. I'm certain we will. The next morning, after the events of Saturday, I got up. Once again, she's up before me. This time, it was because of nausea. She was lying on the couch, wrapped in one of my throw blankets. Are you okay? Yeah, beautiful. I'm just nauseous. Do you need anything? No, I'll be okay. You sure? Yeah, I'm good. Alright. We're watching the Netflix show Big Mouth, which I know is a somewhat controversial show to some people. Readers, I will warn you about a light discussion we had about it. I have seen it. It's okay. I don't know. I mean, there's probably some things people don't like about it. I just thought it was kind of bleh. For those who don't know it, basically it's a show concerning 5 kids, 2 girls, 3 boys, all dealing with their family and school and lives while venturing through the pitfalls of puberty. I really liked that show. And so did LL, oddly enough. She venomously hated men, but was laughing uncontrollably every time the hormone monster said something. Yes, there is a character called the hormone monster, and it's pretty funny. Butch lesbianism is just laced up with irony, isn't it? Cue another odd comment. I do like how they're showing puberty equally from both perspectives, not just the boys. I said nothing to that, but several shows throughout my youth ran through my head dealing with the exact same topic, usually, again, in equal measure. Sure, they're usually comedies, but for some people, that's just an easier way to digest the subject of budding sexuality and puberty. Again, her argument was unfounded, but not harmful enough to bother engaging with. God, they're showing these boys as good kids at heart, not just constantly horny and having some guilt about it. Until now. How many guys have you known? There are kids who are confused by newfound feelings and thoughts. They're not bad for having the thoughts that literally everyone has. And, they're kids. My voice was low, but the tone was very serious. She shockingly didn't start yelling this time, and actually kept it cordial. Just don't see it a lot, that's all. Our conversation drifted into sexuality itself, and I soon found that, for all her experiences with her own sexuality, she knew very little regarding others in those terms, particularly fetishes and various kinks. I'm not exactly a freak in the sheets, but I'm not vanilla. I had a few kinks and preferences, and a fuck it list like everyone else. At least I think so. Or I hope so. If not, I'll just accept my newfound weirdo status with pride. And I'm not judgmental, and if I'm honest, I like to at least look up various kinks and preferences. I think it broadens people's horizons and sense of understanding. Or, at least it satisfies my morbid curiosity. The internet is wonderful for that, isn't it? The first of them were furries. Oh, why did you say that? Which she didn't know a lot about. Dear sweet summer child. At one point, neither did I. But remember, morbid curiosity. Oh, I'm positive that I know a few things. If you follow this channel, you know I know a few things. I casually explained it to her, and she acted so disgusted by me. I'm absolutely not a furry. But some of the non-sexual art is pretty good, creative even. And I don't judge people who enjoy it as long as they keep it on fucking paper. She was also unaware of lolly and other anime-related sexual things, BDSM, and many others. I explained it all, even went into the psychology and reasoning behind it. She's absolutely repulsed that I knew so much. But she did ask. Her reaction was normal to the info itself. I've been there too. We've all been there. But I don't know, I thought it was a little over the top for a woman in her 30s to be acting, especially one who had been technically sexually active longer than I have. But whatever, I apologize for making her uncomfortable. The conversation drifted into our own sexual awakening. She was the average, started dating in high school kind of thing, discovered she was gay, came out at 19. I confessed to her that I knew I was attracted to both since I was about 16. I didn't really have a lot of interest in the act itself until I was in my early 20s. Really? Is that even a thing? I just kind of shrugged. I mean, it must be. I lived it. That's not right. Thanks. Real fucking gem, that one. But I said nothing and shrugged it off. I know not everyone understands that part of me very well. Still hurt, though. Then I thought to ask, as I have a total of 3 times in the relationship, if she was really okay with my bisexuality. I know you've been hurt by people in the past who are bisexual, but I want to know for sure that you don't suspect that of me. I don't, even though they're all left me for a man. I'm not going to do that. One relationship is stressful enough. Why the hell would I want to juggle two? That was meant as a joke. I don't know, maybe it wasn't appropriate. But she replied with a very curt, "Yeah, Gus," and just dropped it there. The conversation shifted to people and society in general. I live for these kind of deep conversations with people. It's a perfect way to really get to know someone, learn where they stand, and get a perspective you never got before. Ours was cut short, however, and this little tidbit of the conversation happened. We all show different sides of ourselves to the different people we interact with in our day-to-day lives. Like, say, how I am towards you is different than how I am towards my friend Rocket. That's one on the scoreboard. Or my mom, my siblings, they see a whole side to me that no one else can because, well, I mean, we're born together. Or how I am at work. It's very different. Or the store, or at a restaurant. We do have a core self, I believe, but we also act in accordance with our surroundings and environment. Again, said in a very matter-of-fact way. Only I'm more chipper now. Ugh, God, I don't want to be analyzed like that. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to. I was just talking, you know? Couldn't win for losing. Everything I said made her uncomfortable. I honestly thought that this was more or less a fact to most people. Either way, I did kind of feel bad. I don't like to upset people or make them uncomfortable, and I know my topics of conversation can kind of do that sometimes. I shifted yet again to talking about families. She told me about her cousins, aunts, so on. I recalled a few of my siblings' past relationships and noted how they would change after being in them when they were younger. QLL raising her hand. Yeah, I'm like that. I get obsessed with my partner and I lose myself in them. Well, I'm afraid I'm going to disappoint you. I love you, but I won't lose myself in you. I still have my hobbies, my home, my family, my identity. You're a part of my life, and hopefully will become a huge part, but I'm not going to sacrifice what's already important to me to, get that. That's fine by me. It, in fact, was not fine. Around noon, we packed her up to leave so I could get her home in a timely manner. I admit I was quiet for most of the car ride. 1, driving. 2, I'm really tired. It honestly was nothing personal, but I'd hear about it later, most definitely. Eventually, she put on some of her music. She liked the more modern hip-hop and techno style. Not really my thing, but I like to give everything a fair shake. I showed her some of my favorite music as well, personal favorite song, as well as a childhood lullaby, one called One Tin Soldier by The Coven. Oh, I know that song very well. It's a 70s song that was the opening song to the cult classic Billy Jack, a favorite of my mother's. It really meant a lot to me as it was sung to me and my siblings by my mother as a lullaby when we went to sleep. And probably one of the first songs I knew by heart aside from the entire soundtrack to The Lion King. And now, especially as Mom's age and health are catching up to her as of late, it's one way I can hold on to the memories of better times and remember the values that she taught me as I deal with aspects of the future. LL was kind of meh about it at best, knowing all this, FYI. She didn't have to like it, but she didn't have to dismiss me like that either. We proceeded to talk about music some more. She liked a larger variety of genres, other than the aforementioned ones. I never saw her play them. I revealed a love of jazz and soul music, the classics, mostly Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. Judge me all you want. I'm from South Louisiana. You don't have to worry about that. I wasn't raised with this music as much, but I discovered it on my own as an adult. Ugh, I hate jazz. It's such a mess. And jazz is a fucking history, and a language of dance and the soul. Yeah. But before I rant my way into r/gatekeeping, I'll say that she eventually flipped the song to Miles from Budapest by George Ezra, which is an underrated song in my opinion. We both liked it, sang along. We get home, said our goodbyes, I drove home, still in love with her, I admit. Especially now that she wasn't right next to me. Unfortunately, the comfort of distance had returned, and the red rosy glasses came back on, and my better judgment was shed with my own dignity. I didn't break up with her until I got back home. In fact, we made it Facebook official. Literally a week. That was my weekend with the lesbian Legbeard. There's more to come. Sorry for the long post. I hope you like it. And thanks again, Moonhorse. I can't stress that enough. Well, thank you for writing this story. I honestly can't wait for the next part. I am excited to know what happens next, because, oh dear. Her incredibly dismissive and self-centered attitude is the kind of thing that tends to rub me in all the wrong ways, and my god, I have heard that so many times from my exes, and ex-friends for that matter. So yeah, I know where you're coming from with this, where you try to tell somebody something that's obviously deeply important to you, and they're just kind of like, ugh, whatever. So yeah, I know exactly how you feel. That's kind of fucked up. And it can piss you off pretty bad. So, yeah. But thank you for writing this, and thank you all for listening. If you have your own story to send in, you can send it to r/Moonhorse Stories. I check it every day, so I will see it. And if you would like to keep the lights on in this place so we can keep doing things like this, you can do that by donating to Patreon or by going to the merch store and buying something there. Or you can do both if you're like, you know, the coolest fucking kid on the block. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you all. Goodbye.